Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's Last Call. Literally no time has passed. all we got so far was Ryan's really hungry, and Tim has just for the first time ever had zebra cake or Christmas tree cakes or whatever it is.
And we lost our game.
Yeah, we knew.
Shocking.
Look, if we had shut that off and somehow won in that 20-something seconds that was left, like that would have been amazing. That would have been
the biggest come from behind since the Kardashians.
We should always start the podcast during the game, whatever game it is, and we should always end it with less than a minute left.
Somehow the game ended and it was 100-59.
Really? When did they get 100 points?
Wait, I thought we had more than 59.
That's what it says here.
What the hell?
What game are we streaming?
Was that the last game we played before?
You know what? When we just shut off, I thought there was like still 2.5 minutes, so maybe we were just behind. And they
oh my god, we were so far behind. We only scored 59. They scored 100.
Well, they were a better team.
Like you were watching, I'm like, oh, we got it down to 28, 29. That's great.
That's when we first came on and you guys were like, oh man, we're like not so embarrassing. Like, oh, you think it's going to end? You think we're just going to stop losing points? You know,
I was about to give the team props like, oh, you're not giving up. You're still playing hard. What happened?
100. We went away.
159.
They went and got that paycheck for Georgia State.
No. What was this was 38.5, I think. This was not a money game.
Are they going to play at our house? Is that?
Yeah,
was supposed to be.
They canceled.
It was supposed to be a 2-1, and they canceled the 1. And I think the way that Brady or Ben phrased it was a free trip. I don't know if that means that Auburn paid for the bus or something, but it's not a paycheck game. We did not get paid. We did not get paid for this game. So, like as somebody else said, is that they were surprised we didn't just when they canceled the home version, just cancel our version of the whole thing.
Not a two. So they just got 2, and we got none, and
we got 0. Yeah,
because usually there's like 1 and there's no game, we get money. So they got 2, no game, and there's no money.
Correct.
That would draw well, right?
That's my
Fuck.
That's my understanding. So they were, they for whatever reason they canceled when we had the game scheduled here. They canceled it, but that same season they also played at App State. This is like 2 years ago, and App State beat them. And after that, they decided to not reschedule
They're not doing any.
The game here.
Yeah.
So
and there was no penalty for that other than you pay for our bus.
I say it's a bummer for their fans because you have to. I mean, we all know there's a crap ton of Auburn fans that live in Atlanta, and they would have packed the box out.
Yeah, that would have been good for the program to have Auburn in our house. That would have been cool.
Yeah, like you think about if you got
one.
Yeah,
you get your drivable SEC schools like your Auburns and ACC, Auburn and Clemson, USC, Georgia, Tennessee. You get these Vanderbilt. You get these teams that are like they have so many. These are college town schools. They're traditional programs. So when they graduated, a lot of them just got jobs in Atlanta.
Yeah,
we got jobs in Atlanta.
The drivable, it doesn't even really have to be an answer. Like people come to Atlanta for
jobs. I don't mean drivable as in like they're driving from those colleges. I just mean like
they just end up here.
Yeah, they just end up in Atlanta.
Right.
Like
we're the capital of the South.
There's probably some kid that grew up in Michigan that went to South Carolina for college for whatever reason, and after 4 or 5 years at South Carolina, got a job in Atlanta just because she just are. I like living down here. I want to be able to go up to Columbia for games on Saturdays and crap like that. That happens all the time. I know so many people that were not from Georgia that live here because they went to schools within like 400 miles, 300 miles of here.
Right.
So
cool. Can you imagine the traffic to get out of the parking lots if you had all these SEC schools playing here at our arena? We'd have to get like a rent a cop, right?
We'd be fine. It'd be fine. There's
State
no
of,
parking.
State of Atlanta helicopter. Just like we'll get in and we'll get out. We're good to go.
Top of the parking deck, we'd land right there. Boom.
We're not
no,
allowed.
we
We're
don't-
not
we're
allowed
not
on the parking deck.
We're not allowed parking deck. We have to park
You
down there at
are.
the magnolia
You
trees.
just-
So
You are. You just don't know it.
Who?
oh,
You can get in there.
well, you can pay for it.
No, but you're not allowed in there. You can always go anywhere. You're not allowed. You're just not allowed.
Sure. They don't. You don't get a ticket, and there's no one there at the exit. So
Really?
yeah, I parked there multiple times now.
So
you
don't post
know,
this to the public channel.
no,
Well,
this
this does go to the public channel.
whatever. I think I think the problem is like students parking there, and so they haven't figured out how to control access to the deck. So the deck is open. The Georgia State Athletics special parking is like cordoned off, and there's someone checking to make sure you have that pass.
No, there was somebody. So when I went in, because I rode in with Danny for
he
the
wanted to
Charlotte
go to the
game.
special area.
He did want to go to a special area, but you know what? And you're right. The guy didn't check anything. The only reason why he even came over was because he wanted to move over to the
Electric
EV charge,
vehicles.
EV, which is so funny. They have EV charging stations in there, and so
don't
if you
work.
have an electrical vehicle, you can go and park there. They don't work.
Yet.
Like they still have the bubble wrap over the connectors that would go into your car, but if you have an EV car, you can park there.
They're on multiple floors too.
That's
Like
so dumb.
we're on 3 or 4, but I saw them. I'm like, well, they don't work on any floor.
I have no problem at all with them charging for parking. I think being a season ticket holder should give you a free pass. And if they're concerned about because the place seats 8,000 and you don't have 8,000 spots in the parking deck, as soon as you're selling 8,000 parking spots, you can lower it down to your court side, your premium seating, your whatever you want to do. But until you're doing that, if you're paying for season tickets, you should have a parking spot. Or you should be able to get free access to the
I think
the deck.
The problem is that there is a perception, like we're like, hey Tim, maybe you don't want to say that because they might change it. Because the perception is that they are stopping longtime fans from having an easy time being a fan. That seems to be what the priority is, and I don't know why that would be the priority, and I'm sure it's not the priority, because that would be a really weird thing to say in a meeting in general. But what's happening in practice, regardless of that, is that they're just really focusing on like how can they make our game day experience not good,
more difficult.
Yeah, it's like, well, and what else are you guys doing? Like, I understand we're pains in the ass, but like, what are you doing to bring in the new people that can replace us? Because like you got to replace, if you want to get rid of us, you got to replace us.
You got diehard Georgia State fans, people that have put in a lot of time and energy to come to Georgia State games and events, and they're like seriously questioning whether or not they want to continue being part of this program and supporting these teams.
And they come to a game and they're basically told that they're not welcome. And again, I know that's not what's being explicitly said, so I'm not like accusing anybody of saying that, but like when you show up and they're like, oh, you can only come in here if you're blah, 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 and you can only do this if you're blah, blah, blah. And every time you come in and out of your section, we're going to check your tickets, even though there's like nobody in this place. And even if you don't come into a section, we're going to check your tickets just for walking around the concourse. Like, what is happening? Why are you harassing me? I'm just trying to
from the moment that we moved into Turner Field and into Center Park, Georgia State Stadium, the three of us have always said at those tailgates, I cannot wait until I'm priced out of this. I cannot wait for this program to get so big.
Where are we going to go?
We get it so big that I can't afford any longer to tailgate on the bricks. I'm looking forward to being priced out. I'm not being priced out. It's almost like you're literally being pushed out. Or if you're not being pushed out, they just don't care. It's like the apathy or the like, all right, whatever. We'll just, as long as we, hit a certain number, things are fine. We'll move on. We're not trying to build up.
I
we
can't
gotta have
figure out what
people-
that number is, if there is a number. It seems lower than it should be.
It perplexes me, like, because when you look at other programs, you see people that are in there and they're passionate about it, and they get a rise off of building it, seeing it get bigger, and the people here are just like,
Whoa, hey,
whoa, I didn't mean to say it that way,
I do
but
like
what I'm
seeing
saying.
it get bigger.
I mean,
It can only get so big.
I like the next part better.
and then it shrinks.
Yeah. And then it pukes all over the place and it falls away. Who cares?
No, but they
Yeah.
should. I mean, for the diehard fans that they know are going to be there every Saturday, they want to tailgate and all that good stuff. Get there early. Just support that.
Yeah, and I'm not asking for special treatment. I'm not saying treat us better like than we pay for or whatever. But just don't kind of push us out. Don't push us away. Don't have some fun with the whole thing. It's college athletics. It's like no adult should even give a shit anymore after they graduate, because that's what you would go to games when you were a student and it was fun, but now you moved on, you got a job or whatever, and maybe you check a score in the newspaper or some crap like that, if this was 1950. But hey, we're trying to come out there, we're trying to do stuff, we want to have a good time, we want to relive our youth, the youth that we never had because we didn't have this crap when we were there. But
yeah, I mean, I will say for this year, if you look at the last whatever number of years we've been on the bricks, they made it harder to do it this year. Like, just don't take these things, even though they're sitting here, because we need someone to check them out. I'm like, do you really need someone there to check it out?
I mean, all the broken ass fucking shit they have. Your broken tents that even though we tell you they're broken, you still put them back in the fucking thing for the next time we come out here, and they're all broken all over it. And we tell you again they're broken, and then you got tables that were never even wiped down. They're molded from the mustard and ketchup and bullshit that was on there, baked beans and stuff that were from the week before. They don't fucking do shit with it. Like they would do better if they just left all that shit out there and let the rain rinse it away between games than what they're doing right now.
Instead of making us set it up every time, just be like,
take every table and every tent and leave it
just
out
leave
there.
It.
After every game, put a Tide Pod on top of it, so the rain comes through, it gets a little soap on it, and you're good to go.
I feel like, and I don't actually have like anybody who's said anything like this to me, but I have had them say they feel like they didn't want to provide those amenities. That was like a mistake to do it. And that we now, but now that we have them, and this is not what they're saying, it's like they feel like they have to use them while we have, and it's like, well, maybe just get rid of that as an amenity even, and like we'll bring our own tents, and that's fine too.
If they don't want to provide the tents and tables, that is 1,000,000,000% fine. I have no problem with that.
It's sort of weird that they do, honestly. Like it's a nice perk, but if you don't want to do it, don't.
Make it easier for people to set up there. Like. Yeah. I'm definitely a ask for forgiveness, not for permission, type thing. So when I would get there in the mornings this season, I would just kind of pull in and just let the security guy, and I would barely stop, just dropping off, and I'd pull in there and I'd take my shit out, whatever, and get it going. And then Tim, you'd show up like not too long after me, and you're a nice guy, so you're like, oh, I just have some stuff I need to drop off here. Yeah, a nice, normal person.
You're acting like a normal human being would. Yeah.
and they're like, no, you can't pull in here. Do you have a green badge? Blah 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 blah, whatever. And you're like, no,
crazy guy before you ruined it for you.
Exactly.
He basically mentioned you.
But it should be. Yeah. If you're there 6 hours before kickoff and there's nobody fucking there, have some autonomy.
I mean, even at kickoff, there's only about 4 cars in that parking lot. So,
there's only 4 more people there at kickoff. Yeah,
right. Exactly. So, like you weren't going to be in their way.
Let people pull in there, and dude. So that area we used to tailgate in for the past several years before this season, that was supposed to be all parking. There was nobody parking there.
It was expensive parking.
They didn't.
That
They
was like
didn't
such
sell
an
it.
annoying thing too. Is like when we got like game one, we went there and we set up there, and we were told to set up there, and then we were told that that was a problem and that it was fine. We were just going to do it for one game and like make the exception. And we're all just like, no, dude, like tell us what you want. The problem here is that none of y'all seem to know what the plan is. Like I think one guy knows and no one else does. And so now we're moving around. And like, honest to God, we got upgraded this year in our tailgate
It was great.
situation. And I'm
I
like,
love
y'all could
our
have
new
sold
spot
that to
is
us like so well. And instead, we had this negative experience that should have been a positive experience.
yeah. If everything happened the exact same way, except I wasn't there yet, but you guys were approached and said, "Hey guys, we're not doing tailgating here right now, this season, but dude, if you go over here, you've got power outlets, you got everything.
Yeah.
You're right by there.
Spot
You're
over there, and you're good to
the
go.
Panther Walk is going to go right past your like, this is going to be a better experience." Dude, we're kind of like, thank you. This is awesome.
And it
You
really
guys
is.
kicked
It is
ass.
better-
And it
better
really
experience.
is. Oh,
It's
dude,
so
dude.
much better.
Nobody has a better tailgate space than we do.
Mhm.
Nobody.
And they won't.
In the
Because
country.
they won't in
they
the
don't show up.
world.
Well, I
Galaxy.
figure there's only good tailgate spots in America. So
It was kind of funny though. At the
That's right.
I think it was the last game of the season. The guy that protects the gate for the fancy people parking, he was like, "Hey man, a different guy, not the same guy that didn't let me in the last time." He's like, "I know you. I saw you set up all your stuff. You could have just pulled in, and I will let you in there." I was like,
and that's the other problem is there's no consistency on any of that
No.
stuff. Like no one
It's-
knows.
well,
There's like
most-
one guy has an idea about what the rules should be, and it doesn't necessarily like not everybody is on board with
And-
that.
And to Tim's point about the parking garage, whenever I showed up to park in the green lot,
green lot, yeah, they don't know.
they just let me in. They just let me in. They didn't scan it. They didn't scan my parking tickets at all.
They probably thought
Ever.
you're a student. You're there so early.
Well, I told them I was there to tailgate, and like, you're tailgating here. I think they're like, you're tailgating here. And I'm like, well, I might actually tailgating over there. I'm just parking here. Like, okay, that's cool. But they never scanned my ticket.
Also,
At
yeah,
all. I
well, maybe I am tailgating here. Like, what's the problem?
Well, I mean, look, if they take those perks away, bricks ain't worth it. It's just
Which
not.
perks?
We had a conversation
Parking
about
and the tables and
tailgating
tents.
somewhere else.
It's a great
So-
location. It's really cool. I really like I have a
It's
sense of
nice.
pride when I like take a picture, I send it to my family, I'm like, check out where I'm tailgating, and it's like the back of the video board right there. And
Yep.
I think that's so cool that like we're in on the ground however many years later on the ground at Georgia State.
ground floor.
Still on that ground floor.
Still on the ground floor, unfortunately. But like we are there though, and we're like, I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. And like I was
Yeah,
on board
I
with
agree.
going to the green lot. I thought where we moved was pretty cool though, and I'd still be on board going to another lot. I do really love the bricks as a tailgate spot, and I would hate to leave there, but I'm willing to just to prove a point.
I agree. Until our sponsor is on board with it.
When those perks go away, I don't know. So,
Yeah.
but I hope they keep them. I don't know. It's a nice thing to give everyone. They just need to make sure the tents work and they clean the tables. It's not that hard. Spray, wipe, put it away.
It's not. Yeah. It would take you 30 minutes. So and it's get rid of the garbage stuff, the garbage tents. So when you've got people out there that are older than us that have never put up a tailgate tent in their entire life, and they get a janky one, and they have no idea what they're doing,
They want to keep it,
and they don't even help them. It's like
The good news is they had us to come over and help.
Yeah.
Right. And
Like,
we either
hey,
we either get it working for them, or
this
or we're
tent's
like,
broken. Get a new
you
one.
need to- yeah.
I will say Eli is a lot more apt to help basically anyone but us. I have seen
Oh, for
him
sure.
out there helping people put tents up while he was walking past us and not saying hello even. So there's that.
Oh yeah, he switched from salesman mode on me like last year, big time. Like he went from, "Oh, David, so good to see you. How things going?" Blah blah blah, to like maybe a head bob.
It is what it is. I tell other people. I mean,
So-
you know, people in athletics. I tell them. I'm like, I know he doesn't like me, and like you know, like even if you try to tell me that like I'm not trying to look for anything, you know, like you can try to tell me that like that's not true or whatever. Like I don't need any of that. I don't even need you to say like no he doesn't or anything like that. Like what's important is that the way that we perceive how he's interacting with us is that he doesn't like us. If he likes us, that's maybe even more problematic. That we perceive something else.
This is how you treat people you like. Yeah.
Right.
No,
Yeah, exactly.
I was actually in their group chat. I was bitching about Eli a couple weeks or week or two ago, and I was typing in. This is funny to me. I was typing in annoyed, like I'm still annoyed, and my phone. These phones are getting too good. My phone
You got a Domino's
auto-corrected.
commercial?
My phone auto-corrected annoyed to Abbott, which is Eli's last name.
Oh God.
I'm still annoyed, and it said Abbott. I'm like, holy shit, that's fucking awesome.
They're like, how does my phone know that?
It's like it was always listening and knew exactly what I was talking about. Eli sucks.
Should we wrap up last call here?
I think we can wrap up last call. Thanks everybody for
Alright.
listening. We'll talk to you next week after whatever the fuck happens at Troy on Saturday. Thanks for listening. And I don't know when we're recording. I think we're gonna maybe do it on Monday next week. Maybe
No, not
maybe
Monday.
maybe missing Tim. I'm not sure exactly. We're
Sunday night.
maybe Sunday night. Sunday night after. Oh shit. Sunday night after the Giants game when my father-in-law is in town. That'll be an episode. All right.
Can we have him on?
Wait, you guys don't want to do Christmas Eve?
I was
My wife
thinking the
would kill
two
me.
of you with family and kids would get murdered.
I don't have a kid on Christmas Eve.
Oh, well. David,
wait,
let's do it.
Wait, do you mean that your kid won't be there on Christmas Eve, or are you like you hate Christmas so much you're like I have no child on Christmas Eve?
No, I just have a divorce, so you know I just don't get my kid on Christmas Eve anymore.
Well, how does the Jewish mom get the kid on Christmas Eve?
The families they're Christian traditional. It was actually my choice. It was supposed to be every other year, and then I was like, well, our family celebrates the day after anyway, so I was like, you get every Christmas Eve, and I'll take every New Year's basically.
right.
So
Anyhow,
All right.
off track on saying goodbye.
Yeah,
Thanks for
sorry.
listening. We'll talk to you next week. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Peace.